The creator stands above his machinations. The dust of 1,000 worlds curl about his gestures, wild shapes in the air, astride in day-old sweatpants. The tireless work continues in an ever-emerging creation of crystalline bliss. Greetings, chromatic warriors! Adepticon is approaching quickly, and I find myself in a building phase this week, working on Apocalypse for the MCP, and after seeing the Creature Caster crew at Las Vegas Open, I've decided to toss some of my efforts into the Resin Beast. It's a late start, but if I use my time wisely, everything will fit in its perfect place. A good wizard knows that time management is one of the 5 key elements to success. Of success. So I wanted to share some theory as well as get under the hood for some cool tips. The models I'm going to ruin are in opposite poses. Apocalypse is in a very solid, static, authoritarian pose, and the other, Cavarto, bless you, is from the game Judgement and has a fluid motion. When approaching an epic base, it's important to keep the pose in mind and emphasize its shape. Composition is a big part of the picture, and in a miniature mating, we have the 3-dimensional field to manipulate. Now let's talk moments of interest. I'm a big fan of painted backdrops. It gives another area to control and compose with. They fit well on a square plinth. But I also like round plinths, as they're easier on the eye in my opinion. I love a good square, but what if one could create a squared circle? Enter the miter saw, my new best friend / power tool. It served me well in making squared circles, and as I was working on this recent base and testing my cut, I realized I could cut a slot for my backdrop instead of chopping it flat. I don't know, it's different, and for now, mounting a backdrop in this way pleases me. The base itself is a nightmare of horrors, an unknown dimension of Dan Seagrave art. Look him up. Some kind of sloughing death metal artwork is going to take place. Skulls were embedded into the, let's call the material, flesh wax. And I pinched and pushed this shape until it had some kind of movement. I used smaller tools as well, but found the larger form was best rendered in a pinching and mashing exercise. I also had the bright idea to sculpt some clouds onto that backdrop. It was an idea kind of rolling around in my head for a while, but I think it'd be really cool when it gets to the painting phase to move from that flat backdrop to this 3-dimensional output and try to continue that along with some false depth. A cool opportunity. When it comes to sculpting, I don't think I'm the strongest, but I can get by. There are some tricks that you can use. Milliput especially is a ceramic-based putty, so just like the clay from your intermediate art classes, you can add water to be smoothing things out. Be sure to keep it wet. You're creating a layer of slip to put it into those clay turns again. After so many backdrops in the past, I've arrived on this kind of output. Part of what can convey a feeling is a simple silhouette, like the outline of a stoplight or a scary cat. For this project, the shape of smoking mucus slid together nicely. The horn is from Creature Caster's Zombie Dragon kit and adds to that forward curling motion. The whole setup is based around a frumpy triangle with a flat side projecting the threatening shapes forward. And then, after everything has been as smooth as you can make it, you can take a brush with just a small touch of rubbing alcohol on it and just put a gentle coating over that, kind of melt everything down. Big thanks to my student Cody for teaching me about that. Once that is completely dry, to further cover up any roughness, I'll take some PVA glue and just lay a layer of that on top of my clouds. It's fairly simple, but you can see how the bulbous form and undulating motion of the figure has created the world around it. A lot of what is going to finish the materials of this world will be painted on, a canvas of corporeal ooze, unchained. Do you wish to live among the clouds? The only way you're going to get there, my friend, is by doing good deeds. Please remember to hit the like and subscribe button. Also, check out my Big Cartel link. You can get merchandise, a flying shirt for your time up in the clouds. You look so good up there. Apocalypse! I always thought he was some kind of space machine alien from watching the TV show, but it turns out he's from Earth, in Egypt. History lesson complete. The The first mutant stands at an impressive height. Clutching an invisible orange, this is a very dominant pose to hold in meetings. Generally speaking, we have a beefcake in a static pose. The options are many, but again, as I fill my mind with the character information and implied authority, a pair of pillars and flat stage to frame the model in a similarly rigid way is the course I'll be taking. The frumpy triangle could work in this situation as well. In artwork, there is no law, only suggestions. This is the direction I'm taking things. The pillars come from a scenery kit made to complement Apocalypse, which is very helpful for casting his world as well as mounting a backdrop. I'll have to paint an Egyptian skyline in glorious ochre and terracotta tones, but for now a piece of plasticard with a stylish swoop will hold its place. And I have to add that plasticard is very easy to work with. Most of the thicknesses at our disposal in the miniature world can be mangled with a pair of scissors. It's just that easy. For the rest of the base, it was cut from cork, just creating a very rough outline of the stage. It's almost like making a cake. Then I'm terraforming it with milliput. Once I had a flat layer of milliput applied, I gently carved the outline of the sidewalk in with my hobby knife, and then gently pressed some texture into it by using a spare stone. You can find a stone outside in most places on Earth. The rubble looks unreal, and I like it for two reasons. It looks very in-world as far as the comic illustrations go, and they'll be easy to paint and control the values for a greater scene. They can also be sculpted just so to better mount the backdrop and generally show that one cares about the craft. A wizard must care, damn it. Embedded thoughts of perfection will radiate to the viewing audience, nice and snug. It's going to need some texture, but I think applying straight up dirt will be much too grainy. So what I'm going to do is take some PVA glue, a little bit of water, some finely ground up dirt, mix all that together, and gradually paint layers upon the base. I'm kind of figuring this one out as I go, so just, moving about it gradually and building up to the perfect amount instead of finding it straight away is the path that I took. I'm happy with the results. It's very ambitious to want to finish 3 projects before a competition, and I have about 2 months until then. The 3rd project is in the mail. I'm going to work on some Chaos Chosen for the AOS unit category in the Golden Demon, but I think the hype for Adepticon is going to be fueling me through this. I also have some paint jam weekends planned with friends so I can get a nice concentrated effort in. Everything will come together in just the right place at the right time. Nothing bad ever happens. Thank you for watching this video. I hope it gave you some deeper insight into the creation and just kind of finding a mood and framing a model up. I hope it got you thinking. Please let me know how you feel in the comment section down below. I'm always happy to hear from you. Until we meet again, my friends, on down that chromatic riverbed, remain unchained.